Sunday, the 15th of March 2026, and this weekend I kind of given myself the time to try not get on social media as much and try to spend less time on my phone. Yesterday I did extremely well, which I consider reasonably well. I did about an hour on my phone of screen time, which is not too bad. And then today, on the other hand, I think I've done a fair bit more than yesterday, and I have no excuse. I've spent 3 hours on my phone today. Holy crap. It's kind of actually disturbing how long we spend on our phones, and let's break this down a little bit. So we have spent 2 hours on YouTube watching YouTube videos, 15 minutes on Instagram, 23 minutes on Spotify, 16 minutes on Messenger. So to be fair, a lot of YouTube watching. I could have been doing a lot more with my life. I've been watching things and going, right, look how great their life's been, and how successful they've been and what they're doing, and you start comparing yourself, which is not great. But either way, I didn't drive an hour to this location that I am now just to ramble on to the screen and the computer. I've actually come to Waipapa Dam with me bicycle to go for a bike ride and escape the digital world and pretty much just be me without looking at my phone, which I did about 20 seconds ago, and go for about a ride for about an hour, 2 hours before driving back home. So 2 hours of driving for probably about an hour of biking, but at least it'll be pretty, and at least I'll be escaping, I guess, modern day normal society of being on our phones, being on media and watching other people live their life from a screen rather than living our own life, which is something that I've realized over the years. But still, it's a habit, and a habit which a lot of us have is spending too much time on screen time and not getting out and enjoying nature like I am today. So I can't help but think, for those 3 hours that I spent on my phone today, what could I have done? Like, I mean, I slept until like 8:30 before getting on my phone, and I have done like a bit. I've done my food shopping for the week. Been getting things over the weekend. I got sorted for. I've got a ultra marathon next week, and I've also, following that week, I'm going away for a week to walk some of the TA with Catherine and Mary. So I've been productive this weekend, but in that time still, like 3 hours. Like, something I realized yesterday is that the day seemed to go longer, and I mean, that's something that I guess a lot of us feel these days, is that life goes by really fast, and I've come up with a few ideas of why this might be. Like, have you ever watched reels on reels, just like you doom scroll is the word for it. Have you ever doom scrolled and you can't remember what you watched about 3 videos ahead, like before then? Like, I reckon our attention spans are far worse than what they used to be. My theory is that the more we consume on our phones, like reels, you might be thinking, hang on, but like, aren't you watching more things? So does that mean you're fulfilling more, learning more by watching loads of reels and short form media? No, you're watching too many things, more than what your brain can actually register. To think that your brain can only focus on 7 things at a time, within like the last 40 seconds you have consumed more than 7 things. So why is it that when we consume a lot of social media or watch videos on our phone, that it seems to make the days go by faster, and when we don't like spend a lot of time on our phones or social media, it seems like the days drag on? This is because every time we start feeling a slight bit of boredom, we gravitate to grabbing our phones. Even if there's a ding, or if I feel my phone vibrate, I have to know what it is. And it's actually a weird addiction when like my phone does vibrate, that I have this big urge to look at it and see if it's a message come through, but 9 times out of 10 it's just an advert for the app, like say Strava for one, notifying me about my weekly score or something like that, and that's to try to pull you in to spend more time on these apps. And the creator, I can't remember what his name is, but the person who got rid of, you know how when you used to search or scroll down Google, after about a few scrolls you get to the bottom of the page and then you had the option to either continue to the next page to search or just to leave. This guy came up with this idea of getting rid of that altogether and having a continuous feed. He regrettably says that was the worst decision he ever made, the worst creation that he created, because if he had known what it would be to now, he wouldn't have created it. I think this is something that running has taught me over the last 2 years of me doing it, but particularly in this last year, the fact that I spent more time running only because I've been training for an ultra marathon, is that I've had a whole lot more free time, well not free time, but time off of my phone, and it feels like time has slowed down. And quite frankly, it's the amount of things that we consume in a short amount of time. Our brain can't process time. Like the 3 hours a day on my phone, I barely ever remember. Like, I remember parts of it and some of the interesting facts, but do I remember every 10 minutes of it? No. So yeah, I think it's actually getting outside and living your life like that. Like, you start comparing yourself watching these videos going, oh, I don't have a life like that. Well, if you get off your phone and start doing cycling or running or doing something with that time that you are spending on your phone, you'd be doing a whole lot more with it. So it's been close to about half an hour now, and I've done about 5Ks. The trail that I was going to be on is closed because of slips. So I've been riding on the road, which is actually kind of sketchy because it's narrow and windy and people are flying on it. So it feels scary on the bike. I have to take my hat off to road cyclists. It's pretty scary on the road. It's a pretty cool rock face there. Just stopped to look at this rock face, and I've been contemplating if I turn around or not, but all I know is there's these big hills I've got to climb. Because I went down them, and I was going down them, I was like, oh, this is going to be painful to go back. It's meant to be my taper weekend. Talking about productive time, I think being more productive, what would have been more productive today is not driving an hour to get here to ride about 10 minutes and find that the track is closed, to then ride on the road with heaps of hills, which I could have actually, instead of driving an hour here, I could have just gone for a ride around Hamilton with less hills. So anyway, it was worth a shot. And I've done 7Ks now, and I'm going to head back. And just like that, this video is over and I'm back at the car. This video was probably all over the place, but I think the context was there and the idea is there, and that is the way I get it across is only going to improve as the less time I spend consuming and watching other content. I want to be more personalized to me and things like that, and be more creative in ways like that. And sometimes on this topic as well, that I do wonder, I'm like, am I adding to the fuel, to the fire? Am I fueling the fire by creating content for you guys to consume, which then I'm preaching to get off and not consume? Have a think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.